Thanks for joining us here at 11. It's a quiet night in the Rose City following a stretch of active weather. A rare August storm moved through the valley earlier today, bringing rain, lightning, and even some hail. In just a few hours, we saw one of our wettest days of the summer. We have team coverage tonight with meteorologist Joe Ranieri here to give us a recap of today's storms. But first, we're going to check in with Ashley Grams, who spent the day tracking the system's impact. Ashley.
Well, I mean, you don't always see these kinds of thunderstorms here in the Pacific Northwest, so there's a lot of excitement to see that light show in the sky, but it can also be dangerous. This thunderstorm sparked some fires across the region. From Detroit, Oregon, to University Place, Washington, summer thunderstorms across the Pacific Northwest brought heavy rain on Saturday. Here's a look at the storm rolling in over Portland. Over 1/4 inch of rain fell on the Rose City, the most since early June. Closer to the Cascades, the storm brought quarter-sized hail. These photos from Mount Hood, Oregon Resort. Down in Canby, the Clackamas County Fair issued a shelter-in-place.
And everything was like getting shut down, but now everything's reopened. But yes, it was crazy.
About 2 hours later, fairgoers returned for the rides and the rodeo. But the storms did bring some destruction. Lightning struck this Douglas fir tree in Estacada, the fire district posting this photo after knocking down the flames. Lightning started 2 more fires in the Forest Grove watershed. Both are less than 1/4 acre and not impacting the city's water source. Well, the good news here is it's not a dry lightning, right? We saw the rain. That's great news for firefighters. As for those 2 fires in Forest Grove, firefighters say they will return in the morning to continue to monitor them, but these ones should remain small. John?
All right, Ashley, that is good news. We're also tracking the ongoing efforts across the metro to restore power. This was the scene at an intersection in Vancouver earlier today. And here's a look at the latest outage maps. Vancouver mostly back to normal. Waiting on those outage maps to come up there after Clark Public Utilities reported about 12,000 outages. PGE reporting currently about 3,000 outages, down from around 9,000. Pacific Power sitting at around 8,000. That's down from 15,000. And again, all of this happened in just a few hours from one of the strongest summer thunderstorms we've seen roll through in a good portion of the state in recent memory. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri has more on just how much rain we saw today. Joe.
An incredible amount of rain rolled through. Yeah, we can see some light showers throughout parts of August, maybe a thunderstorm, but John, I'd say this is probably the strongest storm we've seen in years roll in August. Now, I told you earlier that we didn't see a drop of rain at all this month. That changed from basically 4 o'clock and about 8 o'clock this evening, where we saw in a few locations close to 1/2 inch of rain. That was the case here outside our studios in downtown Portland. But now, as we look on the radar, a few spotty showers here and there, but for the most part, all those thunderstorms, all the lightning strikes that were just lighting up the radar earlier have pushed off into parts of Puget Sound and into northwest Washington. So as we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, there's still a chance we could be looking at some boomers roll through tonight and early tomorrow morning. But I think for the most part, all the active weather is kind of in our rear-view mirror, which is good. Heading into tomorrow morning, we'll be waking up to some clouds. But again, jumping ahead into Monday, another disturbance is well offshore, but we could be seeing some light sprinkles and some light drizzle the next couple of mornings. That includes tomorrow morning, Monday morning, and Tuesday. So yeah, these are the numbers that we've seen basically since late this afternoon, early part of the evening. Tillamook, you didn't see much of the rain, but you saw about 1/3 inch of rain in Astoria. We actually saw more rain in downtown Portland, 1/4 inch in Salem, and 1/4 inch of rain fell over Eugene. Even a little bit of rain showers throughout the east side of the state. So thunderstorms are going to be calming down overnight. A few showers to start Sunday morning, but looking into long-range forecasts, John, we're going to be looking at below average temperatures heading into tomorrow. So we'll be waking up to some morning clouds, but by the afternoon, a mix of clouds and sunshine with temperatures in the upper 70s. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast about 10 minutes from now.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll see you later in the show. New tonight, crews shut down I-84 in north central Oregon as multiple wildfires cause visibility issues. It's closed for about 20 miles between milepost Blaylock Canyon and milepost 150, which is 1 mile west of 3 Mile Canyon. The Gillum County Sheriff's Office says there are confirmed fires on I-84, Rail Lane, and Highway 74. Some good news from the Oregon State Fire Marshal. It has shut down its agency operations center after running for nearly 40 days straight. During that time, staff deployed 66 task forces and 2 strike teams to wildfires across the state. This closure means all state firefighters and equipment have returned home. That being said, they still have people across the state in contact with them, ready to send crews back out as needed. Now to an update from Portland police that our viewers have been reaching out about since we first reported the story on Wednesday. Officers have arrested the suspect caught on camera abusing a dog earlier this month. It was thanks to multiple tips, then confirmed by detectives, that led officers to 25-year-old Isaac Justham of Portland. He was brought into custody around 4:30 this afternoon at Northwest 13th Avenue and Flanders Street. Before he was interviewed by detectives, he was taken to the hospital and later cleared after claiming to have swallowed fentanyl. Justham did not provide info on the dog's whereabouts. He's since been booked on 3 felony counts of first-degree aggravated animal abuse on top of several outstanding warrants. PPB asks you to reach out if you've seen the dog so they can get it proper medical treatment. To an update now on a death investigation of a woman in downtown Portland. Detectives believe her death is the result of a hit and run. This happened around 3 a.m. on Friday at the intersection of Southwest 1st Avenue and Ankeny. This is now Portland's 42nd traffic fatality of the year. Anyone with information is asked to contact Portland police as the investigation continues. Police in Sandy are investigating a string of thefts from vehicles, including one vehicle that was stolen. It happened early Friday morning from the Deer Point neighborhood to the Sandy Bluff neighborhood. A still from security video indicates an organized group of at least 5 men are behind this. While officers investigate, they remind you to lock your vehicles and secure your valuables in your home. And in Vancouver, officers arrested a driver late last night who was suspected to be under the influence when they caused a 3-car crash. It happened at Northeast 58th and 162nd Avenue. One person was treated at the scene while the driver was arrested for DUI. One of the most high-profile congressional races across the country is happening in Southwest Washington. Today, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson was there to voice his support for the Republican candidate. Thomas Schultz reports.
On a sunny Saturday morning, all was quiet outside along the Vancouver waterfront. Though inside one restaurant, a key race was being discussed.
This is one of the top 5 races in the country. Everybody's attention is on it.
Everybody, including Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, who flew in to support Joe Kent. Kent's running against incumbent Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez in a nail-biter rematch for a congressional seat. Quickly, the Republicans went on the attack.
The out-of-control spending in Washington, D.C., driven by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, that's got to get taken care of.
Gluesenkamp-Perez now has a voting record, and it is one of the worst in all of Congress.
Their hope is to turn a Southwest Washington seat back to red after Gluesenkamp-Perez flipped it blue in 2022, defeating Kent by a couple thousand votes. Though this time, Johnson believes the race will be different.
He almost won this race last time, and we really believe he can get it done this time.
We reached out to Gluesenkamp-Perez's campaign for an interview. We never heard back, though the incumbent also took to X Friday, saying Speaker Johnson is coming to Vancouver to raise money for her white nationalist opponent. She wrote he should instead join her at a different event for a real feel of Southwest Washington values. And recently, she told KGW her work over the past 2 years has boosted up Southwest Washington.
My hope is that by staying focused on being useful to my community, I have built a bridge.
Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
An act of kindness given to 2 people who have to restart their lives. Today, Lake Oswego Modern Dentistry gave free dental services to Lisa Roberts and Verl Mangum. Both spent years in prison because of a wrongful conviction. This is not only meant to highlight their resilience, but bring attention to issues accessing health care in Oregon.